हेलो 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 माइक टेस्टिंग हेलो ચોખ્ખું ઓકે ઓકે હા હલ હલો 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 હું દેખાઉં તમને ઓકે હલો 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 ઓકે હલો આવી ગયો હલો હલો ઓકે 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 હા સંદીપભાઈ ચાલુ કરીએ રેડી યા અંદર લેપટોપમાં આઈ થિંક બ્લેન્ક થઈ ગયું હશે રેડી
Jai Swaminarayan. You all guys understand Gujarati? No. All right. Uh, my name is Ankur. I'm from Roanoke, Virginia. I am with this HGI for quite a long time. Let me first of all thank Kushal Bhai, who gave us a platform here to serve our different different guys from the different part. Um, Also, we have our leader, our CEO from the company. First of all, I have my leader, Sandeep Bhai. He came from Dallas, Texas. Um, and we have a CEO of the company, Sean Bhai. He drove from Atlanta. So thank you so much for your time. And we're going to learn today about the education build the wealth, and you will take it something from here, and it's gonna help you to grow yourself, your families, and it gives you a positive outcome from here. Sean Bhai, please take it over.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Thank you, Kushal bhai, for everything. Appreciate you. You want me to use it?
Yeah, because the live people can hear.
Oh, are we still going live?
Yeah,
Oh.
live, sorry.
I didn't know. Okay.
That'd be great.
All right, that's fine. I'll do my best. So.
Do you want to use the mic instead?
No, this is fine. I'm good. Now, can everybody hear me better? Awesome. Okay. Sounds good. So, there are two types of houses that we build. The first one's called an emotional house, which looks something like this, right? Now, here's the question. See, when we are constructing this house, there is a logical way to build it. There's a step-by-step process to build it. Am I right? Okay. The first step, I believe, is the most important part, which is what? What do you think? Foundation. Agree? The foundation has to be strong, right? Now, throughout this presentation, I'm going to be asking why, right? A lot of why. So, and we want to dip the deepest why possible. That's the key here. So why does the foundation have to be strong? Can anybody share? So it can stand strong. Good, that's one why. Let's peel another layer of onions. Let's go deeper. Why? Still holding the structure, right? Again, why? See, that's the upper level of why. I want the deeper level of why. Confidence, okay? Let me tell you the most important reason for me to make sure that my house stands tall and strong is because I want safety and security of my family. Does that make sense? Is it that the deepest why possible? That I want the security and safety for my family. That's why I want the foundation to be strong, correct? Now, that's step one. What's the next step? The walls. Step 3, doors and windows. And step 4 is what? The roof. Very simple, right? Have you ever built or seen a house being built upside down? Logically, it doesn't make sense, correct? So there is a logical way. Just like that, there is a logical way to build our financial house, okay? What do you think is the foundation of building a financial house? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Let me share a story. Let me ask you this question. Let's say an average family, okay? After all the expenses are done, they're left over with $1,000 every month. What do you think most families do with that extra $1,000? They spend it? Sure. They invest it probably, right? So where do you think spend or investment falls in those step-by-step process? Do you think that's the foundation? Do you think that's the step 2, step 3, or the last step? Last. Okay, so then what is the foundation? You feel that is a foundation. Wonderful. Okay. Anybody else feels that's a foundation? Saving or investing, I believe. Right? I used to think saving and investing was the foundation. But here's what I found out. As I got involved in this industry, I learned a lot of different things. The first thing is protection. Protection is the foundation of any financial house. Okay? That's the first part. And we'll talk about it logically if it makes sense to you. Second step is what? Debt management. Get rid of the debts. Third step, emergency funds. Okay? Got to have at least 6 to 12 months of emergency funds. And the last step is what? Investment. Okay. How many of us build our financial houses upside down? All of us. That's exact. 20 years in the industry, I do a lot of financial needs analysis to evaluate, to see how things are being done, and that's the most common problem I have found. Okay? Glad to have continued to do this. A lot of things have changed in a lot of people's lives, but I'll continue to share some stories how it makes all the sense, right? Now, since I am saying that protection is the foundation, okay, let's talk a little bit about protection. What is protection? First thing that we buy in this country to move around, what is that? We need a car. We all need a car, right? Now, Don't worry about the value of the car. But what's the first thing you do when you buy a car? We insure it, right? We protect it. What are we protecting? Tell me more about liability. What is liability? What do you mean? You're saying we're protecting life. So that means if I have insurance, nobody's going to die. Oh, then?
Like it's car accident or something, and if you die in the accident.
Okay. What happened? How? You're telling me if I have insurance, I'm not going to get into an accident? Okay, then what am I protecting here? Now you got to the point. Loss of what? Loss of money, right? That's what I'm protecting is my assets. Because if I don't have insurance, what's going to happen? Who has to pay for all this stuff? But the jamelo thase, who's going to pay for all that? You got to go to my bank, take out the money, pay for it. But if I have insurance, insurance company pays for it. Correct? And that's why I pay a premium for it. Correct? That's the first thing. The second most important thing that we all buy in our life is what? A house. Okay? What's the first thing we do when we buy a house? We insure it. We protect it. What are we protecting? What? Oh, not the house, right? Okay, good. I'm glad, man. Fast learners. Yes, we are protecting our assets. All right. Now a tricky question. The third thing that we buy is called health insurance. Correct? What are we protecting when we buy health insurance? What are we protecting? How are you protecting you? You're not going to get sick? So again, you're protecting what? Still the same thing. You're protecting your assets. See, protection is all about protecting your hard-earned savings. Agree? Now comes a good question here. What is the most valuable asset in your household? Jewelry? No. Family? People? Life? Human lives, right? Human life is the most valuable asset. Here's the funny part though. If we're not an asset, what are we? If I'm not an asset, I'm a liability, am I right? Right? So if I am an asset, then how much are we worth? What is your value? What is the value of your human life? Okay? All agree? Are we priceless? Very good. I'm going to go back one slide. Homework nathi kairu tame loko. Let's go back to this slide now. I said two types of houses. What is called? One is emotional house. The other one's what? A financial house. These are two different types of mindsets that we carry. How many of you have heard one sentence that says, never make financial decisions based on your emotions? Is that true? Right? So when I asked you guys, what is your value? What did you say? We are? What mindset are you thinking from? We're being emotional. Emotionally, yes, you're right. We're all priceless. Financially, every one of us has a value. Okay? Everyone has a value. So, we're going to move forward. The clicker is too far out there, so. Okay. So, we're going to talk about this concept to determine some stuff. Okay? Financial planning. We call it an X curve. Looks like an X, right? Goes from top to bottom. The other one goes from bottom to top. And if I put the age line, this is when we are all young. With time, what happens? We get old. Life happens to all of us. Agreed? Now, here's the deal. How many of us are married in this room? How many of you are happy? Keep it up. Nice. Very good. Very good. You didn't fall in the trap. Okay. How many of you have kids in this room? Right. 100% of the room is in the same boat. Right? So we're all young family. Like I said, I'm married and I have 2 kids. Right? Now, because of being young in the family, hey guys, where's my financial responsibility? with kids and everybody, your financial responsibilities are way up there. And because of that, our savings are low. With time, what should happen? Responsibilities should go down. And with time, wealth should go up. Why? Because we all want to retire what? Financially more secure. Okay? Now, when do you want to retire, buddy? 65, yeah? 55, 60, yeah? 60, 62? Okay, why? Social Security? What about you? Why 65? Social Security income? Huh?
I like to think I hope that I'm working.
Hey, but you want to work, or you just, like, you really like to work? So if I gave you $1 million a year, would you still continue to work? Okay. Just wondering. See, retirement never comes with age. It comes with only one thing. What is that? Can you retire faster? Absolutely. It's your mindset. That's what makes it happen, right? Who says that? Don't listen to Uncle Sam. Okay. IRS to bolega 65 nahi, 70 abhi. Retirement age is 70. Don't let them give you the age, guys. Okay? You decide when you want to retire. So here's the deal, right? We want to retire more secure financially. If you want to retire sooner, what will happen to this point of the curve? It'll move this way. If you retire later, it moves that way. Agreed? Right? So let's break it down real quickly. Let's talk about some responsibilities as a family. What are some of the major responsibilities that we have towards our families? You're married? No? जल्दी करो यार. अकेले खुश क्यों हो तुम? हमको भी होना है. साथ में रोएंगे मिलके. But good. What are some of the major financial responsibilities that we have as a family, towards the family? Major ones. Kids' education. What else? Mortgage payments. Yeah. What else? There's about few of those, right? We classify them into 4 major categories. Okay. The first one is called debts. Car loans, credit card debts, personal loans, student loans, business loans. Anything and everything that I owe is my responsibility, right? But here's the question. Let's say I add up all these numbers, adds up to $100,000. Let's say tomorrow, life happens to me. Now, who becomes responsible to pay for this 100,000? My wife, right? My survivors. Agreed? So it is my responsibility. Agreed? Second big responsibility is to earn income. I have to go to work so I can bring home some money, right? Let's say, for the example's sake, I am making $150,000 per year. I bring home this $150,000 so that I can take care of all my responsibilities. But what if I go to work one day and never come back? Can that happen? It's guaranteed to happen, right? I just don't know when. Agree? But here's the question, guys. Whenever that day comes, in what financial situation am I leaving my family behind? You think if I left them with 1 year of income, 150,000, is that enough? No. What about 2 years of income? Is that enough? No. So the rule of thumb is that I need to save at least 10 times of my income. Right? So $1.5 million. I add that number. Okay? How many of you own a house in this? Raise your hand if you own a house. Okay? Keep it up if you really own it. Okay? 99%. Put your hands down. Why? Who owns it then? Bank owns it, right? Understand that. And it's okay. It's a good thing, I think. Right? You should never own your house. That's my take. Because I'm thinking financially, I don't want to save 3% interest. Okay? It's always a good thing. So there's good debts and bad debts. We'll learn more about it. But here's the deal, right? Whatever the current balance I still owe is also my responsibilities, because I don't think there is a lender out there that will come and sympathize with my spouse, will they? No. So I want to make sure that I put that down as well. And the last big responsibility that all of you said was what? Education savings for my kids. I need to save. I have 2 kids, let's say $400,000. Whatever those numbers are. Everybody's going to have a different number. Am I right? Now I add up all these numbers. What does this add up to? $2.5 million. Right? What does that number represent? What is it? Liability. Remember I asked you a question earlier, how much are you worth? That's your number right there. That's everybody's number, different numbers, right? But that's the way you calculate somebody's number, okay? Now here's the thing. The question here is, this number here represents my total financial responsibility towards my family in case I die too soon, right? And if this is the case, when do you think my family needs that money? There's no other answer, guys. They need it now. What are my options? Can I go rob a bank? Can I buy lottery tickets? No. What about scratch-offs or casinos? No. None of them are viable options, right? The only viable option is to do what we call proper protection planning. That's the only option. If you love your family, let me ask you this, right? Here's the deal. You know, I know a lot of people understand, oh, life insurance. I have life insurance. How much? 90% of this country is underinsured. They don't even know how much they need in the first place. And why I said proper protection planning, number one, because here's the deal. Let's say you own a house. Let's say the value of the house is $800,000. How much do you insure it for? 800 or 300,000? You insure it for 300. So if the house breaks, insurance company only pays 300,000. No, nobody will allow you to do that. It's not even allowed in the States. No, they will never let you do that because it's bank's money at the end of the bank want to make sure that you have enough coverage. Okay? What about your car? Same thing. It's worth 50,000. Do you insure it for 20,000 just to save a few dollars? No. So then why would you compromise on your own asset value when you know you are the most valuable asset? Right? Now, here's the deal. Remember I asked you a question earlier. What does an average family do with their $1,000 that they save? What do we say? We said invest. Correct? Now, here's the deal. Let's say that I save or I invest $1,000 every month for 5 years. How much did I invest? 60,000. Agreed? Wherever I invested that money, it doubled. So, ketlo thai gyo 120K. All of a sudden, 5 years later, I passed away. How much does my family get? 120K. What will they take care of? How long will that last? Instead of me putting entire 1,000 in my investment, what if I took $200 to $300, let's say, and got myself a proper protection of 2.5 million? Now, do I have the foundation? Now I can take my 700 and put it where? Invest. Now if something happens to me, is my financial house standing strong and tall? Does that make sense, guys, logically? Right? Here's the thing. How many of you have heard of GoFundMe? Why does that happen? What do you think is the reason behind it? You don't think these people had insurance? They probably did, just didn't have enough. That's what it was. Nobody ever educated them. Nobody ever told them what their needs are going to be. Last month, a guy just passed away. 35, 38-year-old, leaving 2 twins behind, 6-year-old twins. Who wants that for their families? Well, he thought he had insurance, but he did through his work, 2 times of his salary. But guess what? He got fired a week before he died. What good was that insurance? Nothing. Nothing. Okay? So understand, guys, when I say plan, you have to plan, proper planning, right? So sit down, understand it. This is called taking care of my family in case I die too soon. Let's not worry about death. How about the next step? What if I live too long? Is that a problem? Yeah. Yeah? What is the biggest problem in America today? It's called retirement crisis. People are living longer and healthier lives. Thank you, Dr. Saab, for making that happen. People are living longer and healthier lives. You've noticed that. Last 20 years, mortality age versus now. What is the average age? Any idea? 87. People are living, average age is 87 now. You know, I don't know if you ever got a chance to read a Time magazine that was published back in February, March issue of 2015. 2017, sorry, yes. Had a front page of a newborn baby. And the heading was that this child that's born today in 2017 is expected to live till the age of 140. Okay? What do you think that baby is going to need? A lot of money, right, to survive. Because in our golden years, how many of you wish to be like this? Nobody. Okay? We all want to be what? This. Correct? So you have to have a proper plan for it, right? We're living longer and so where do you think people are saving money for retirement today? What do you think, Dr. Saab? What about you? What about you? Where do you guys think people are saving money for retirement today? 401ks. What else? IRAs. Okay. CDs. What else? Real estate. Okay. Yeah. I think I have all of you on the list. Agreed? Right? These are some of the places where people are parking money for retirement. Now, here's my question to you. Have these plans been available for at least last 50 years? They have been available, right? But then how come still retirement is such a big crisis? There are certain questions that needs to be addressed. Number one, when do you want to retire? You got to know that so you can plan for it. But with that, you should also know another most important thing is, how much do you need in retirement? How many of you actually know how much you need in retirement? Exactly, with inflation. Right? We have to know that number. At least we should be aware of it. Third, how about market risks? The factor of market risks, will that affect my retirement? What happened to people that were supposed to retire in 2007? Did they retire? No. They had to wait another 7 to 10 years before they could actually retire. Why? Market crashed, right? What about taxes? They say you don't pay any taxes once you turn 65. Is that right? After 65, retirement, you don't have to pay taxes. Yes? No? It's not age tax. It's called income tax. So you don't pay tax if you don't have an income. Okay? But I doubt that's going to happen with our lives, right? And that's also the impact of taxes during retirement. Very, very important. Okay? Now, here's the deal, guys. Retirement is not a gamble. It's going to happen. Okay? We just have to be certain in uncertain times. Right? Now, everybody loves a big paycheck. Who doesn't? Barney girl. Everybody loves to have a big paycheck, right? But the question is, what is our biggest expense today when we receive this paycheck? Who said that? Okay. Don't spoil the meeting for the new ones. Come on. I know you know it. I'm glad you know it. That's awesome. So I broke down my check. Most of the time I used to think it was mortgage. But I realized something, that the first thing that goes is federal tax. State tax after that. Sales tax after that. Property tax after that. How much of my paycheck's already gone into taxes? Do you feel it? Yeah. Almost 40% of our money goes into paying taxes. Is that not concerning, or have we just become immune to that? Yeah? If that is the case, don't you think taxes are one of our biggest expense? And we should learn how to optimize taxes? Right? We need to learn how to optimize taxes. And then comes your health insurance, then mortgage, and then whatever is left goes for the kids, everything else. Right? Now, here's the deal. When we diversify, when we invest our money, do we diversify our investment? Or do we put all of our eggs in one basket? We We diversify. Why? Less risk, right? We mitigate our risk by diversifying our money into different portfolios, right? Awesome thing to do. Everybody should be doing that. But here's my question. How much of your portfolio is tax diversified? When was your last time your financial advisor ever told you about diversifying your taxes? Or your accountant told you about diversifying your taxes? Probably haven't even heard of this term, tax diversification. Correct? Because we don't know about it. So let's learn a little bit so that you can optimize your taxes, and it's very important, right? There are 3 tax buckets, first of all. We have to know that. The first tax bucket is called tax now bucket. Now, what happens in a tax now bucket? The money that you earn, taxes are already paid. The rest of the money goes into your bank. What do you do with that money? Either you leave it in the bank or you invest it somewhere. Now, what happens to the growth? You pay tax on the growth every year. So let me understand that, okay? Let me clarify that basket for you. Not that it's a bad basket, but let me clarify. You are going to pay tax on the money that you've already paid tax on. You've already paid tax. Now the money grows and you're paying tax again, right? On the growth. That's your first basket, guys. Understand. It has its place in your portfolio. You have to have it. Second bucket is called tax deferred bucket. Now, what happens to this money here? Whatever you put here, you're not paying a dime in tax that year. But then, when you're ready to retire after a few years, whenever that time comes, when you take out the money from here, what you've contributed plus the growth is taxed 100%. That means 100% of the money that you take out, you're going to have to pay tax on it at that time, sometime later. That's why it's called deferred. Now, 20 years in the industry, 99% of people's money sits where? Right here. Both of these buckets. So if you look at your own portfolio, you should know majority of your money is sitting right here. Okay? Nothing wrong. But like I said, learn to optimize. There is a third bucket, guys. It's called tax advantage bucket. Okay? Now, what happens in the tax advantage bucket? Just like the first bucket, what kind of money goes there? After tax dollars, right? Same after tax dollars. But what is the difference here? The growth is taxed versus the growth is 100% tax free. Which one makes more sense? To pay tax on the money that we've already paid tax on? Or to pay tax on the never pay tax on the money that we've already paid tax on? That basket makes a lot of sense, but not any of our money is sitting there because we never took advantage of it. Here's the best part, guys. Do you have the right balance? You need to have the right balance. Now, remember I said I'm going to ask you why? I think you should be asking me, hey, Sean, why do we need to have the right balance now? Please tell us that, right? So we'll cover that in the next slide. Let me ask you, are we in a lower tax era today or are we in a higher tax era? Higher, 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 okay? How do we know that? How do you know that you're in a higher tax era today compared to the past? We have to look at the history. So let's take a look at the history real quickly. Okay? Straight from tax organization, okay? Taxfoundation.org. You can go and research this. 1917 to 1981. What is the lowest top marginal tax bracket? 63%. Okay? 1988, what happened? We went from 70 to 28. How many of you would want that? Real, right? Awesome time. But I want you to live the past. How many of you were here in 1988? Anybody? No? Awesome. I'll tell you, Google this up, you can. 1988, US had $0 in debts. Social Security was not a problem. And there was no such thing as COVID. Since then, what has happened to your taxes? What has happened? They've gone up, right? Let's talk about today's situation, 2024. How much debt are we in as a country? $35 trillion. And I think I had too much time in my hand and I was looking at the clock moving and I just did 60 seconds. How much do we go up? $87 million a minute is how the debt climbs. Every minute goes up by $87 million. So that's one problem. Problem number two, is Social Security a big concern now? Are we hearing that? Yeah. Number three, $5 trillion were printed for COVID. Let me ask you, who's going to pay for all this? Yeah, it's going to be us. So what do you think is going to happen logically to the taxes? They're going to go up or down in the future? Chances are they're going to go up because as a country, only two things can be done to resolve that matter. Either a country can spend less or tax more. Okay? This country is not going to spend less. Okay? So the only option that leaves is what? Tax more. So my question to all of you is, would you rather pay tax now when you're in the lower tax era? Would you rather pay tax later? And what if history repeats itself? Can that happen? Yeah? Let's take a look. That particular era, 1944, what were the taxes? 94%. 94%. Right. How long did they last? How long? 20 long years. That is somebody's retirement life. So my question to you is, if all your money is sitting here, and if history repeats itself, what happens then? You understand? Now, why do you need to have this leverage bucket? 30 to 35% of your savings need to be diverted where? Right here. The remainder 60 to 70%, go ahead and continue to do what you're doing, my friends. Okay? Because if you don't do this now, I want you to go talk to somebody who's retired today. Because here's the problem. Somebody that's retired today was probably putting money in their 401k when? In 1988? Would you agree? In 1991, they were contributing. How much tax were they saving? 31%. Today, when they're taking money out, what are they paying? Okay? So, question, do you even know who the president is going to be 20 years from now when you retire? No. Do you know what kind of taxes you will be paying 20 years from now? Okay? It's a gamble. Right? So understand, diversify. It has its place. Every bucket has its place. You just should be diversified. So we covered two things. In case I die too soon, how do I protect my family? In case I live too long, how do I prepare for retirement planning? Now, let's say things are going well. I took care of all these things. All of a sudden, I become disabled. What is disability? Okay. If you cannot perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, you're considered to be a disabled person. And when that happens, you have to be admitted in a nursing home, a long-term care facility, assisted living facility, or a nurse has to come home to take care of you. In any of these scenarios, health insurance pays how much? You know it. $0. Your health insurance pays $0. So, problems. Number 1, what happens? Income stops. Right? Number 2, do you need money to take care of your responsibilities? Yes. Do you think your health insurance is going to pay for any of that? No. Okay. Number 3, now you need more money to take care of your own medical needs. How much does it cost to be admitted into a semi-private nursing home per year? How much is the cost? $90,000. That's average, national average. I was in California 3 weeks ago. I looked up their numbers. It was $140,000 per year. My question to you is, my friends, if these 3 problems happen because of disability, Where is the money going to come from? Who's going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? You know what's going to happen? Reality check. You're going to drain all your savings. What took you 20 years to save is going to go how fast? Very, very fast. Then what happens? We file bankruptcy. Number one reason for all the bankruptcies in this country is what? Medical debts. Number one reason. Okay? So, how do you protect your assets in case of disability? Area number 3. And the last area is, I have 2 kids, like I said. One day my wife decides, let's go on a nice drive. And we hit a tree, and all of a sudden, both of us passed away. Who takes care of the kids? Who? My friends, my family, my coworkers, my neighbors, my parents. Even if they want to, by law, they cannot. Because my kids will be put in where? The foster home, Anath Ashram. Okay? Why? Because I did not take 2 hours out of my busy life to prepare a will. Of course, it's called estate planning. You got to do that. So will and trust, that's part of estate planning, right? And there are a lot of questions that needs to be addressed. How old are you, buddy? Yeah, 18. Very cool. So if I gave you $1 million today, what are you going to do with that? Tell me, man. Buy a nice car? I thought so. I have a 17-year-old. Exotic cars, right? Which ones are you going to buy? Okay, very cool. Just one? There you go. Okay, well, here's your answers, guys. I'm telling you, reality of life. Check. How will you keep your 18-year-old from spending the inheritance? Think about that. What is the game plan? Where is it written? What instructions are you leaving behind? Who's going to follow that? Okay? A lot of things. Who gets your home? Your kids are not on your home. It's only your spouse who's listed as a beneficiary. And what if both of you passed away? What happens to your properties? Okay? Understand healthcare and end-of-life decisions. Who makes those? Does it cost a lot of money if nobody's there to claim? Nobody's there to make the decisions? It is crazy, guys. Got to know this. You have to have your wishes documented. Otherwise, somebody else will make those decisions. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to cost a lot of money and may not go to the rightful owners as well at the end of the day. Right? So these are all the areas that we help families with. Let me ask you a simple question. How many people do you think need to know about all this? Dr. Saab, what do you think? Everyone? What do you feel, buddy? Yeah? Everyone needs to know this, right? That's what we do, guys. Educate. And just for the sake of, I always do this, is, just raise your hand if you need more information on at least one of these 4 areas. If you feel like I need to know more about some of these things, just raise your hands. No harm in it, right? Okay. If you look around, what do you see? Everybody. Everybody needs information. What does that tell you? There is a need for what we do. Correct? There is a need for what we do. People are looking. So that brings me to end of this chapter. And just next 10 minutes, I'm going to end it. But 10 minutes, I'm going to share the opportunity that comes along with this. Okay? If you like that information, we're going to talk about the opportunity. We're a company called HGI. We're part of Integrity Company. Integrity is based out of Dallas, Texas. They have a combined of about 500,000 licensed agents. Okay, so we're one of the largest brokerage companies in the world, literally. All right. Second thing is, we don't make any products, guys. Okay, we don't offer any solutions products that come. They don't come from AGI. We don't make them. Okay, these products are offered by some of the major giants in the industry that have been around for at least 100 years. All right. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. But the most important part here is, I want to ask this question, right? That when we came to this country, we came with some big dreams. You remember the day coming to this country? Did you have some dreams? I had a huge dreams when I came to this country. 1991, I remember sitting in the plane, and when the country was approaching, I landed in San Francisco. I was amazed to see that. I knew that this is a land of opportunity. Then I thought, you know what? I want to go there. I'm going to get my education. I'm going to get a nice job. I want to build in. I want to have a big, nice house for myself. I want to provide the best education for my kids. Then, you know what? I'm going to buy probably 15, 20, 30 properties and do all these things, right? I wanted to make $1 million a month, a year. Okay? I said, I'm going to get to that point someday, right? But then what happened? I'm sure you had big dreams like that, correct? Then what happened? I know my story. Maybe you can relate to that. I got my job. I started working. I was making $100,000 back in 2000. Guess what? I got lost in the world. My dreams were out the window. I couldn't even think about them because my salary was just 100,000. 100,000 mein main kya kar lunga? Reality. But guess what? I got involved in it because it became so comfortable that every week बैंक में पैसा आ रहा ना बस सुकून है इसी में जी लेंगे यही कर लेंगे. Until 12 years ago, a friend of mine approached me just like you guys are sitting here. Somebody I'm sure invited you here today. He approached me, and that day my life changed. You know what he did? He didn't give me an opportunity. He gave me hope. He showed me that, Sean, I remember किसी ज़माने में हमने बात की थी कि तुझे यहाँ पर आके $1 million साल का कमाना था, तुझे इतनी प्रॉपर्टीज़ खड़ी करनी थी, तुझे अपना घर चाहिए था, बेस्ट एजुकेशन देना था बच्चों को, हार्वर्ड में भेजने की बात कर रहा था. He reminded me of my dreams. He said, क्या हुआ? Why did you forget that? बोलता है, I said, I can't. I mean, you know what? कितना भी कर लूँ, कुछ अगर अच्छा है तो बता. I asked him that, right? So he said, there is an opportunity, Sean. Take a look at it. I said, okay, awesome. I had some of my criteria, so I went over that. But I wanted to share that. See, the thing is that if you have the dream, we have the vehicle. अभी मैं एक सवाल अगर सबको करूँ, if I ask one question, right, to you, okay? Magic lamp. We've heard the story of genie in a magic lamp. Huh? Okay. Let's play a quick power round. इसको बोलते हैं power round. Okay. Right now, you have 30 seconds. Genie आपके सामने खड़ा है, and he's saying, I'll grant you 3 wishes. What do you want? $1 million. $10 million. 3 wishes है, sir. Good family life. और तो आज नहीं है क्या family life good? अच्छा with हाँ तो add करो ना with money. I like that. Okay. कितना?
Like $millions.
See, you get my point, right? What he just did, what did the genie do to you? It got you to think, to reignite your dreams. You know, why you cannot do this prior to this meeting today? When was the last time you did that? We don't do that. You know why? Because we're stuck in that vehicle. We can't think big. मेरी अगर लाख की इनकम है तो मैं 2 लाख का ही सोच सकता हूँ. Right? उस वक्त मेरे दोस्त ने मुझे बोला, he said one thing to me. He said, Sean, 5 लाख बनाना है साल का. I was making 100,000. He said, 5 लाख बनाना है साल का. I said, बाहर निकल यहाँ से. क्या बात कर रहा? He said, in the next 2 to 3 years, Sean, okay, whatever you're doing right now, do you think there is even a slight possibility that you can increase your income by 5 times? No. I said, no. He said, there's an opportunity. Take a look at it. Okay? So I'll share this with you, what it is. And if it fits in your life plans, hey, most welcome. You know, again, we're looking for people that have the desire, that have the dreams, that want to do something more. Nothing is easy, I will tell you that. Okay? Everything is a price to pay. Okay? So understand. But financial freedom, does everybody want financial freedom? You want financial freedom? I will say one thing, guys. If you have to have a mentality have a child's mentality. उनको किसी चीज़ का डर नहीं है. उनके सपने ना इतने बड़े बड़े हैं. Okay? कोई चीज़ का fear नहीं है. Right? I love learning a lot from the kids' lives. So I really admire them. But here's the deal. It is a priority, guys. It's not a dream. It is a priority, but you have to make it a priority, right? There are 4 ways to make money in this country. If you were given an option, would you rather be on this side or this side? Left or right? Right? We all want to be on the right side. But how do you get there? Because most people dream of building their own business, but nobody starts one. Why? What stops people from starting their own business? Money, big thing, number 1, right? Experience, fear, right? Lack of knowledge, maybe. All these things exist. It's okay. So people don't even get started and they just become comfortable here. Why we're so excited? Because we have an option to help you to move from this side to this side. That's what this opportunity is about. Okay? So we'll talk about it. What is the largest industry today? I used to think it was the real estate industry. But guess what? Financial industry is one of the largest industries in the world. Okay? This is numbers in the country here. But here's the deal. I looked up something though. Okay? How many realtors are there in this country? Do you have any idea? A lot. I like that answer. I did some research, found out for every 775 people, actually, let's just say it this way, for every 225 people, there is one realtor. Okay? How many financial professionals are there? Every 10,000 people, there is one financial professional. Okay? Now, earlier I asked, do you need more information? Everybody raised hand. That means there is a high demand for what we do, but the supply is super low. That means there is a huge opportunity in this industry. Okay? Now, as far as the market is concerned, we cater to all markets. Everyone needs our help, right? Are we pretty much here mostly Gen Xs? Would you all agree? Yeah? Now, what are the concerns of Gen Xs, right? Dr. Saab, wealth accumulation. We all are looking forward to that. Like we want to increase our wealth. How about tax benefits? Big another concern. What do? We have financial strategies and solutions for all age groups. Okay? From a 15-day-old child up to 75-year-old. Everybody can benefit from our services. At least the knowledge, the information that we can cater for them, right? They'll get that. But here's what happens, right? The huge opportunity that we have today, and why is it such a big opportunity, I'll share with you, is how many people are turning seniors every day? 10,000 people are turning seniors every day. That means what's happening? Wealth transfer, right? कोई कैश तो नहीं दे रहा है ना अपने next generation को. It is going through some institutions. Money is moving from one place to the other. We call that the great wealth wave. What we bring along with that is the great entrepreneurial explosion, which creates a great opportunity. Okay? So, understand that part. Now, who are we? We're just a financial services marketing company. Okay? We're not the manufacturers of the products. We are just the marketing company. Okay? What we offer is a system to build your business. Right? Think about which is the largest taxi service in this country? Uber. How many cars do they own? Zero. Imagine. They don't own anything. Yet they are the largest taxi service. Why? Why are they so successful? Because they applied a system. Okay? Which is the largest retail store in the world? How many products do they own? Very, very minimal. They just started getting into that, but until now they never owned any. Yet they're the largest. Why? Because they came up with a system. A system will make you unlimited income. That's what it is. So what we offer is a system to build your business. We do two things in our business. We help people become entrepreneurs. We provide that education to become entrepreneurs. Learn, right? Second is provide financial education so you can take care of your own finances and you can help others around you that you care for. That's all it takes, right? So I didn't come from a financial background, neither I had skills to stand here and talk like this. I can tell you that, right? If you have seen me 15 years ago, 12 years ago, I was nowhere close to any of this. But I learned. Nobody's born with any skills, right? A question always was popping in my mind that, you know what? I needed training. I needed coaching and I needed mentorship. And guess what we provide? We provide all of these things, right? You know, we have 4 decades of experience. Through this system, we've been number 1 in most of the areas as well. Okay, what makes it so amazing is that system. It's called the leadership format system. So the whole idea is very simple. You start your business with us, you learn the system, run the system, and let the system build your business. Okay, so what we provide, all kinds of training and support. Okay, unparalleled training and support. Okay, what do we do really? We help people win in the money game. We teach people the principles of building wealth. Exactly what wealthy people do right here. They know how to build their net worth. Okay? And we teach you how to do that, and so that you can teach others. That's what the idea is, right? Now, these are some of the powerful concepts that you have to apply in order to make your money work for you. Okay? I'm not going to cover a lot of these things as we covered so much earlier. You know, how many of you know Warren Buffett? He has 2 rules for his money. Have you read a quote ever by Warren Buffett? Look up. Rule number 1 is never lose money. Rule number 2 is never forget rule number 1. Okay? Warren Buffett, all over. A guy like that says never lose money. Where are we putting our money? That red line? That's what's happening to our money, right? Is there an option to not lose any money when the markets are down? Oh, there are options. I didn't know about it until I got involved in the industry. That's the beauty of this, right? So we talk more about it. We covered about taxes a lot, so I'm not going to. We talked about retirement planning, 4 major areas that you should be concerned of. What is that? Inflation risk, income stream, market volatility, and longevity risk. Imagine having a life insurance that you don't have to use to die to use. Most of the life insurance pay when? After you're gone, right? One of the most important wealth building tools. What if you saved $1 million over the last 20 years and you became disabled, admitted to a nursing home? How long will that million last? Not very long. But what if you had a life insurance that you could use instead of draining your savings? See, everything to protect your assets. Do whatever it takes to protect your assets. Okay? Understand, we're pretty much a one-stop shop, provide everything for our clients that are looking for any of the services. If you need any of these things, definitely the next step is to sit down, do the financial needs analysis so that we can find out where the gaps are in your financial life, and then we can provide you solutions and recommendations. Okay? Some of the major companies that we represent, guys, have you seen any of these in the past? Have you heard any of these names? Yeah, very well-known companies. These are 100-year-old companies. Guess what their job is? Their job is to create the products and services that solves the problem people have. Okay? They solve the problem. So, how does the financial service industry really work? Let's talk about that real quickly. The top level is what? Financial institution. These are the companies that make these products. We talked about it. What is their goal? Is to get this product to the end clients. Now, they don't go directly selling products. What do? They look for agencies, a distribution system. Now, what makes an agency? How does an agency become an agency? A group of people, right? There's a lot of people in that company. That's why we call it an agency. Very simple, correct? Then those are agents. That's what we call agents, right? Now, what do the agents do? Obviously, the agents sell the products, so they make commissions. Okay? What does the agency get? Called overrides. Okay? Now, here's the thing. If we take this same example, apply it in the real world, right? We all understand the concept of a manufacturer that manufactures products. What do? Who do they sell it to? Wholesalers. They give it to? The manufacturers give it to the wholesalers. Wholesalers sell it to who? Retailers. And retailers sell it to the consumers, right? If you had an option, would you rather be a retailer or a wholesaler? Why? Less work, more money, right? You get volume. You make small percentage, but you make it in volumes. Agreed? That's the difference. Well, here it's the same thing. If you had an option, would you want to be an agent or an agency owner? Well, guess what? You can do both. Okay? You have an opportunity to do both. Build your agency, guys, and we teach you how to do that. We work with you to do that. Now, is it worth your time? Let me ask you this. Let's look at the numbers real quickly for 2 minutes. Okay? When you start the business with us, okay, you come in as a training associate because we don't know anything about this industry. So there's a time frame that is required. Anywhere between 15 to 30 days is what it takes for someone to complete their training program. Okay? On a part-time basis, by the way. And you don't have to quit what you're doing. How about that? Even better, right? You continue to do what you're doing. We have an amazing doctor, by the way, Dr. Girish Pore. I don't know if you've ever heard of his name. He sits on the board of directors at Emory in Atlanta. Okay? He's been part of the business for the last 7 years. Okay? So apart from what he's doing, he's also doing this on a part-time. Both his wife and the kids are involved in the business as well. So just kind of sharing with you, here's the deal. Once you complete your training program, you get promoted to an associate level. Now, as an associate, at 45%, if you just went out, let's say, on an average, if you help 2 families a month, entire month on a part-time basis, just talking to 2 families, helping them, you could make potentially up to how much? $68,000 per year. Okay? Let me ask you this. Making an extra $3,000 to $5,000 a month on a part-time basis, will that make a difference in your financial life? Made a huge difference in mine. I know that for sure, right? Now, I'll explain you the system a little bit more here, okay? Eventually, you want to grow. That's why you're in the business. You want to get into higher commission levels. Typically takes about 3 to 6 months to get to RMD as long as you are coachable and you follow the system. Okay? You can get to RMD by 3 to 6 months. Now, once you become an RMD, you're at 78%. Now, you own an agency by this time. That means you have people that want to do this business with you, right? So you have, let's say, 5 people in your agency, and they're associates at this point. What happens? How much income override can you make potentially? $228,000. Okay? Pretty decent override income, right? Why would you not share the opportunity with others? Why am I showing you this? And if you help those 5 associates become an RMD, just like you are, to help them build their agency, what is the income potential now? Close to $700,000. Reason I'm saying this, guys, is because this is the screen that gave me hope. It at least has an unlimited income potential. It is not capped. That's what I saw when I started this business. So I want to show you something very, very personal, guys. Okay, this is my bank statement. I want you to look at it back 10 years ago exactly, June of 2014. Okay? I was married, I had 2 kids, 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. So that was my family dynamic. Average expense, how much was it? $6,500, decent, right? Not very lavish, nothing. How much was my income, deposits? Roughly about $5,500. Living paycheck to paycheck, correct? Simple situation. Now at that point, if somebody comes and tells me, hey Sean, You can make $500,000. I said crazy, right? You know, but is there a limit? Is there an income? Is there a potential in what I'm doing? Probably not. But is there potential in this opportunity? Yes. So what happened 5 years later? 5 years only in this business. 2019, same month, June through July. What was my expenses for the month? Did they go down? No. We lived life, right? We were enjoying life. We were donating. We were doing things that we always wanted to do. And why were we able to do that? Because our income went up. Something I was making in an entire year, working about 40 to 60 hours a week. Now I was making that much in a month by that time. Now if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of you saying, yes, I want to do it. I'll tell you a simple, just very funny thing here. Let's say if I took the entire wealth of this country and distributed it equally amongst everybody. Okay. What do you think is going to happen exactly 12 months from there? Any idea? It will go back to the similar equilibrium. You will still have 20% wealthy, 90%, 80% average. Why? What is the difference? Mindset. What kind of mindset do you have? Right? Habits, thoughts. All these things are very important. These are the things that we learn in this business, guys. We have a lot of personal growth that happens in this business. That's what I love about it. Okay? So, understanding, right? Most people don't want to start a business. Why? Because you said earlier, money is a big problem. Okay? So, what does it cost to start this business? $199 plus the licensing cost. Every state is different, so I don't know. Anywhere from $50 up to $200, $300 is the licensing cost. So about $200 to $500 is what it takes to get started in the business. No franchise fees, no loss of job security, and most importantly, no experience needed. All you need is the desire and coachability. If you have the desire to do something more in life without quitting what you're doing on a part-time basis, then anybody can conquer their future. Okay? These are some of the people coming from different backgrounds, different life. That's me and my wife right there. Just like me, there are many other people that started this business 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, are making everybody on this making $500,000 or more per year in income. Okay? Just want to know. Anybody can come in. First year, her income was $972. This 4 years ago she started. 18 years IT career. Fired her boss last year. She made $1 million last year. $1 million in the business. Okay? This girl right here has a challenged child, special needs kid. All she wanted to do 7 years ago was, if I can make Sean $1,500 a month. I said, why do you want to make just $1,500? She said, because there is a class that I want my son to go to. It's a special needs class. Today she's making $60,000 to $70,000 a month in this business. So they can do it, anybody can do this, right? So what we are offering, just to summarize everything, guys, that we are offering an opportunity to make an unlimited income as long as you have the desire and coachability. All we say is come in as a trainee, learn. Become a trainer, teach. Become a builder, build a big agency for yourself, and be a leader. And lead your communities. Lead the people. Make a difference out there. Ultimately, that is the key. कितने लोग आते हैं और चले जाते हैं, लोग उनको याद नहीं रखते. लोग किनको याद रखते हैं? कि जिन्होंने कुछ अलग किया है ज़िंदगी में, जिन्होंने किसी के लिए कुछ किया है, right? That's all I say, guys, is there's a higher purpose than just making money. Money is a part of this business. Yes, the more you help others succeed in life, the more you succeed in life. With that, guys, I want to thank you. I hope this brought value to your time. I hope this was helpful. We're going to pass out a business review card. Please take a moment to fill that out. And whoever invited you, Ask them any questions, and if you need to reach to me, I'm right here the next 20, 30 minutes. I think we're going to have some dinner together. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free, and I'll be glad to answer all your questions. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night.
Give a big round of applause for Sean Bhai for presenting such a wonderful presentation. He traveled all across the country, came here and do the presentation. Thank you very much, Kushal Bhai, for giving us wonderful, wonderful place to do the presentation. And all of you who came here, please fill up the cards and be the part of wonderful, wonderful legacy. Thank you very much.